to Doctor in the House right here on ChannelOne TV. This is a health and education platform which is on Breakfast Daily every Thursday. So if you're tuned in, you're welcome. But you may want to catch a subsequent broadcast within the week, which I'm not sure you want to miss out on. This morning, we are literally going to, increase the volume a little bit, literally in your ears. So do stay tuned to the show. We are going to be talking about hearing impairment. And joining me in the studio is Brigadier General Dr. Ni Obudai. He's an ear, nose and throat surgeon and former Commander 37 Military Hospital, who is now a medical director of Rosebeck ENT Clinic, East Legon, Accra. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for making time again to join us here. Last week when you were here, the conversation was very interesting, very, very enlightening. So by the time you left, we had tons of messages on our messages console, which we have to answer a few before we get into this morning's conversation. So this one says, please, I'm JB from Pokwase. Doc, I had an accident in 2010, and ever since, I have been feeling some noise in my left ear non-stop. I hardly hear if one speaks to me from that side of the ear. So what could be the problem? You want to know?
Yeah, right from the precursor, it's an accident that he had. So that's trauma. We don't know the extent of the injuries he had. If it happened, he got a head injury as well. Definitely, the hearing organ is sitting in the bony structure of the skull. So depending on the nature of the injuries he had, it could have affected the hearing organ, and therefore, because that's coming from the cochlea, which is the hearing organ. So depending on the nature of it, if it was a head injury, definitely we may have a problem from that. So definitely it is from the accident. Oh,
right. Anyway, this one says, I am Ajua and I'm having problems with my right ear. Please, where can I locate you? Ajua, I didn't state exactly what the problem is, but Doc, she's asking where she can locate you. Yes. Maybe she wants to come in.
The clinic is on the Trinity Avenue. Trinity Avenue, East Legon, directly opposite the Chartered Institute of Bankers.
Oh, right.
So I put our numbers. I think numbers should be running as well, so they know where to find. East Legon, on the Trinity Avenue, directly opposite the Chartered Institute of Bankers.
Right.
Co-located with Pamoni Clothing.
Okay. All right. So this one also says, hi, Doc. I had an ear problem on my left ear during a church function, and each time it occurred, it will be normal after some hours. And sometimes it takes about 2 or 3 days before I could, it takes 2 or 3 days before I couldn't hear at all, or I couldn't hear well. After the third experience, my left ear is partially off. Do I have any chance of fixing it like my right ear?
Yes. And the question is saying it started from church.
Yes.
So that will probably be because of loud music and where he or she is sitting in church. If you're sitting right in front of the speaker, if it blows out, you leave either with the sounds in the ear or with the difficulty in hearing, partially. And it's happened repeatedly. So this one, she must be advised to sit properly and then protect
the ear.
Not sit directly in front of the speakers. It will harm you.
Wow.
So it must be really situated. If it's so acute, great chance of getting it reversed. If it gets so chronic, then it becomes irreversible.
All right. This one, I hope that answers your question. So this one says, hi, please, I'm experiencing itchy ears always. I visited the hospital and I was told to use boric acid ear drop, but still my ears are itching. What do I do?
Yes. We'll have to get back. You just have to get back and get a review. All right. The boric acid may have been just put in to soothe it. But if you have fungi in there, definitively the fungi will have to be treated. If it's a chronic discharge, that also has to be treated. So she has to go back, get a review so that the problem will be situated and then looked at again.
So I guess this answers all your questions from last week. So if you're just tuned in, we're just about to get into the conversation. But you can also send us a WhatsApp message so you get to ask Doc all your questions while he's still in the studio. The WhatsApp number is 020-444-7033. Do send in your messages, and then Doc is here to answer all of them. Doc, let's get into today's conversation. We are talking about hearing impairment.
Yes.
This topic or this conversation, many a times we don't even have it at all until it gets out of hand, or until we see all the little signs and symptoms of hearing impairment. What exactly is hearing impairment?
Very well, thank you for the question. Hearing impairment stems basically from the fact that the ear may have gotten issues, and then the normal function of the ear, which is hearing, gets compromised partially or for some reasons permanently. So it's a question of the hearing thresholds that we have. If you have a normal audiogram, anything, we pitch the frequency of the sound against the decibel, the intensity. Anything between 10, some books say 20. If the intensity of the hearing there is within 20, that's normal hearing. If I did an audiogram on you and it's between 15, 20, that's okay. Now, if the hearing level falls, comes up to like 40 decibels sound, then you'll get into mild hearing loss. If it goes further down to like 60, moderate. Anything above 60 is severe until it gets to profound. Now you're not hearing at all. So it's a question of paying attention to the level of hearing that we have. Unfortunately, we are the same kind of people who do, no worry, it will go, I'll check it, until it becomes so bad. Importantly, once your level falls a little bit, check it up. And if you get that done regularly, we will be able to have a whole history and record on you, so we can compare your hearing levels as the years go by. So we can easily tell how fast your hearing is deteriorating, or whether it's being kept at the same level.
Now, Doc, if someone is losing their ability to hear, and you want to know what are the red flags, or how are we able to tell that indeed I'm having or I'm suffering a hearing loss or a hearing impairment? What is the process? What are the things to take note of?
Yes, ideally, each person should be able to know himself. But unfortunately, we are not able to. All right? So the clear signs are the people around you who hear you talking and you seem to be shouting. Because if you're not hearing well, you raise your speech or your level of the sound so that you can hear yourself. And that is shouting. Or somebody comes into your room and your radio or your TV is turned up so high. All right? Those are telltale signs. So if we are not able to tell ourselves, at least people who are around us, who are hearing us, seeing us, how we do our social issues, know that your level is too high. Go check your ear. But ideally, you should know. They're like, I'm not hearing too well. Somebody, I said last week, somebody came, said he couldn't hear well. And I'm asking, which ear? He didn't know whether I was right or left. But you should be able to know which ear you're not hearing in well, and then get it checked. Because the level, like I've said, is very important. That determines the level of your loss, the level of the impairment you have. Normal, mild, moderate, severe, and profound, or total loss.
Doc, when you were answering some of the questions from last week, we're talking about the person who had the experience from church. You mentioned that it could possibly be from the loud music or the speakers in church. Now, most of us these days, we have airports, we have big headsets to enjoy music when we go to the gym, when we are taking our walks, so even when we are watching content on social media. How bad or how dangerous is that?
Yes, I think we mentioned something about that last week. But now the issue is this. It is, and now, like you're saying, it's on 24/7. They're even sleeping with them. I don't know why. They're sleeping with them. Music, social media.
Not to cut you, but sometimes when you are having difficulty in sleeping at night, there are sounds or sleep tunes that can make you sleep. So you just wear them to just cut every noise around you off so that it can take
sleep
you.
Well. Yes. So that you can do that. And you enjoy your music, you enjoy whatever you're listening to nicely. But now, if it is on, and I'm sitting close to you, and I can hear it, then it's already too loud.
Right.
Because that is tailored for your ears only. Yeah, it's not public music. So if you have your AirPod on, and you have your headphones on, and I sit close to you and I hear it, that music is too loud, which has to be toned down. At least it has to be enjoyed just for you. I shouldn't hear what you're listening to at all. That is the danger there. We turn it up too high. We think that if it's so loud, then we get to enjoy it better. But that is not so. You should be able to enjoy cool music and get the details of it and enjoy it. It doesn't have to be that loud.
Yeah.
So for those, or what do you call it, the AirPods and the headphones, the neighbor shouldn't hear it.
Right.
If your neighbor hears it, it is
Then
too
there's a
loud.
problem. Right, now let's talk about other things that we do or our day-to-day activities that
Okay.
can impede or cause our hearing. Aside from the AirPods, what are some of the things that we do unknowingly, unconsciously? We do not even know that this thing I'm doing can lead to me losing my sound or my hearing ability.
Yes, we'll still come back to the sound, okay? If it's not individual or personalized like you've just described, there's pollution everywhere. Yeah, noise. I visited a place sometime, and I was in traffic for about a week or so. And I'm like, I didn't hear the horn, a car horn.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the horn for about a whole week. And there was something missing.
Yes.
Because we are blowing the horn here to greet, to say bye-bye, to look for passengers, and it's so loud, so loud. So we have pollution everywhere. Unfortunately, the district assemblies, the municipal assemblies, even environmental protection is not able to clamp down. If you get into to all those business lines area where they're actually dealing and selling music, you can't sit close by them.
Yeah.
If you dig that for 3, 4, 5 days, either you get tinnitus or you get temporary hearing impairment. So the pollution that we have and how much we are bombarded with sound. Okay, there's beautiful sound in the world to enjoy. But the way we operate it and the levels at which we operate it becomes harmful to us.
Wow.
Yeah, so unknown to us, if it's not personalized with your ports, pollution generally, noise pollution. Because there's something we call noise-induced hearing loss. It's not genetic, it's not by age, it's not Presby acoustics, it is noise-induced. And if you see the curve audiogram, 4 kilohertz, thereabout, it dips. You know this is a noise-induced hearing loss, either by pollution or self-induced.
You mentioned genetics. What are some of the genetic ways of losing your hearing ability, or even with children? You know, sometimes when kids are born, how are you able to detect that this child or my child has a hearing defect, and how are you able to treat that?
Yes, okay, let's begin with the kids. It is gradually becoming, what do you call it, customary now to even check, all right? There are tests that the audiologists kind of do now to check the kids' hearing even before they grow up and start, you know, dealing with, you know, school-going issues.
And how early
there are
can this
processes.
be?
Some are done at birth. Okay, some clinics are doing that at birth to test it. So even before the kid gets out of the hospital, that test has been done, so they know the kid has reserves to hear. Now, for those ones who don't get that done, as they grow up, we should be able to pay attention. And I repeat that, pay attention. Trust me, there are kids who are not hearing, and unfortunately, it's the teachers who notice the kids are not hearing and not the parents.
How so?
Yeah, they just think they're being stubborn. They call you, they don't hear. We call you, we give you a knock, you don't hear. The parents don't realize the kids are not hearing. It probably will be just wax. It probably will be just wax, obstructive. But they just keep knocking them, keep beating them. When they call you, you don't come. Very stubborn. It's the teachers in the classrooms who rather find out that this kid is not hearing well. Let's go and check. They come to you, the ears are both full of wax. But I'm saying that the kids should know. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention. All right? Now, for kids who have issues with adenoid hyperplasia, glue ear kind of thing, those are procedures that we actually got to correct with surgery and then free the middle ear so the kids can get back to normal hearing. So what the point is this, let's pay attention, particularly with the kids. Let's pay attention.
Now, Doc, still on kids, when babies are born, I have witnessed some. In some homes, you see that we buy cotton buds to take some of the earwax out. Sometimes they fold the edge of a towel or tissue to take it out, all in the name of, there's death, cleaning the ear of the baby. Is that okay? Is it safe?
Okay. Let's put it in perspective once again. You can't clean the corners of the baby's ears, the nostrils kind of thing with the cotton buds. But like I said last week, you cannot remove wax with the cotton bud. The canal is a cul-de-sac, one way in. You don't go in, touch it, and remove it. I use my instrumentation, flush it out, go behind it, and bring it out. So for the purposes of this issue, you can clean the corners of the ear, the corners, the crevices with the cotton bud. The nostrils, kids particularly, no problem. But you cannot remove wax with the cotton bud. And you can cause a lot of trouble by injuring the eardrum, which is the main function of the thing to assess and process the hearing.
Wow. Wow. There are some questions coming in, but let's talk about treatments shortly, and then we can take some of the questions. So if you're watching us, we are having a conversation about hearing impairment. You can send your questions, your thoughts on the WhatsApp number 020-444-7033, and Doc is in the studio to answer all your questions here and now. If you're facing any challenges as well, do send us your question, and Doc will do due diligence to us. Doc, let's talk about treatments. How much have hearing aids evolved? And are hearing aids the go-to solution if one is suffering a hearing impairment?
The straight answer is no. Once again, we'll have to situate the type of hearing impairments that you have. And the nature of it. If it's a temporary thing, which is so reversible, we put it on treatments, medications, and get it sorted out. Okay. Now, the hearing aids have come in for permanent or irreversible hearing. All right? So then the hearing aids come in to augment and direct the sound to the eardrum to get the process started. Now, you will not get a temporary hearing loss. For example, I would not put hearing aid in anybody's ear who has a mild hearing loss. Even moderate. Yeah, you can get around 40, 50 decibels, you can get around. I'll put a hearing aid in somebody's ear who has above 60 decibels of impairment, which is irreversible. Then you put in just to aid, augment the sound so the person can hear. And now the behind the ear, which was the earlier type of hearing aids behind the ear, now there's in the ear hearing aid. You could just stick it in the ear like the earbuds we're talking about. Nobody even knows you're wearing a hearing aid. Yeah, nobody sees it. Digital, you can control it with your remote control kind of thing. So there is in the ear hearing aid now, as opposed to the behind the ear bulky one. Those ones are phased out now. We have in the ear digital hearing aids. So
in instances where the hearing aids are not the go-to solution, and you realize that after assessment, of course, you realize that the issue or has escalated, are there any surgeries, any kind of surgeries that can restore one's hearing ability?
It depends on the type of hearing difficulty you have. There's one we call a conductive problem, all right? And that is typically from probably a chronic suppurative otitis media. And to surprise you to know what contribution slaps give to this conductive hearing problem.
Slaps? Like someone slapping you?
Yes, ma'am. Slap.
Doc, expatiate on that for us because it's very interesting.
Okay. Now, the basic problem with a conductive hearing loss is typically to do with a perforation in the eardrum. The eardrum has to be intact to receive the stimulus of the sound, to vibrate and transmit the sound. Now, if you have a perforation in the eardrum, that function of vibration is compromised. So if I do a hearing test for you, between the bone conduction and the air conduction, you see the gap there. That is conductive hearing loss. All right. So now what it means is closing the ear, the perforation in there, so that you restore the function of the drum. And when that surgery is done, you can restore the function of the eardrum and restore your hearing. Okay? So you're not going to put a hearing aid in that kind of ear with a conductive hearing loss, with a perforation, huge central perforation in the drum. You will have to do a surgery to correct it. And you might not need a hearing aid at all. Once the surgery is corrected, now slaps in the sense that when the slap goes, there's a whole pressure from the slap. All right, and then it tears the eardrum. If it's a minor tear, it can heal. If it's a huge tear, it retracts. And when it gets, repeatedly infected, the edges of that perforation gets to heal, and then it cancels any possibility of the eardrum restoring and healing itself. So that perforation stays in. It becomes a chronic central perforation from a slap.
Wow. Wow. So the parents who just, give the backhand anyhow, please, you need to be very, very careful, because you may end up doing bad, damages to your child's ear than you think. You're just trying to, reprimand them from doing the wrong thing and all of that.
I saw a patient a week ago who has discharging ear. And the history was like, oh, this thing has been going on for years. And she remembers getting slapped about 4 years ago by the husband.
What?
Okay. So now when I checked in there was a huge central perforation. So now that perforation is there, it gets infected so easily. And that function is kaput. So now she's hearing mainly from one ear.
One ear.
So that's a result
with such a condition, what would you, what corrective measure would be able to fix it? Wow. Wow. Anyway, we have some questions coming in. And this one said, good morning, Doc. My ears appears clear, but when I'm eating or anytime I'm eating, I try swallowing anything, I feel they are blocked. And usually when I take a deep gasp while I close my nose, then it feels better. I have complained about this long ago, and the specialist kept saying nothing is wrong with my ears. What do I do, Doc?
It sounds like a tubal dysfunction. All right, this is the issue. There's a connection from the back of the nose, okay, into the middle ear. Okay, it's just like when you're flying or going uphill. You realize your ears feel like they're closing. Yeah. You swallow, you yawn, and then it opens up. Yeah. Typically taken off by flying and landing. If you're going up Aburi Hills, you feel the kind of pressure in the ear. You swallow. That's a function of the eustachian tube that connects the middle ear to the back of the nose. Now, if that tube is not functioning well, if you take off or you land, you get barotrauma, pain. So that tube must be, it's a very thin and fine tube, but it must be patent to equalize the pressure from the middle ear to the atmosphere to give you pressure. Now, for this one who says that when she's swallowing, it means the tube is not functioning well. So whether she's chewing or yawning or having to open her mouth or exert pressure by holding the nose, that opens the tube, and then the pressure is equalized, and they normalize the hearing.
So what can the person do?
We'll have to decongest.
And how is that done?
By medications.
Oh.
Nasal spray. The appropriate nasal sprays. Right. So that you can decongest, and then the tube will be patent, so that when you climb, you don't have any problem.
All right. So, Dominic, if you're watching, you're still watching, this is what Doc has for you by way of answering your question. So you can reach out to him, and then he'll sort you out. This one says, I have this noise in my right ear. Please, how can I get it out? He didn't state exactly what kind of noise.
What kind of noise and for how long. Yeah. It's important.
All right. This one also says, hi, I'm Phil from Kwabenya. Is it wise to flush the ear? And are there any solutions in Ghana to flush it with?
Wow. To flush the ear? Self-flushing?
Well, the person didn't state. But I think I have personally heard people share stories of, I think my ear was dirty, so I went to the hospital to flush it out.
Yeah. We irrigate the ear.
Okay.
Or wash out. That is done.
Right.
You can get it done easily. okay, washed out. It must be done properly, like I'm saying. Otherwise, you create trouble. So there's a possibilities of washing the ear out. There are a few gadgets and things that people can use themselves to flush. But if you don't have that, you probably have to get it done rightly.
Yeah.
You know. So there's a possibility of washing if that's what he means by flushing. Ear irrigation, ear washouts, they're regularly done at the ENT clinics.
Okay, so this question says, what is the perfect tool for cleaning up the ear?
Yeah, I'll come back to that again. The ear doesn't get dirty. So that whole notion of cleaning doesn't come in at all. Yeah, if it's trying to remove the wax, it has to be done appropriately, not with a Q-tip, certainly not. I had a patient who was producing so much wax. I was washing for about every three months. I was washing the ear, because he was producing so much wax. It has to be done well. So the wax or debris or anything in the ear that is blocking it can't be removed. All right, but the ear doesn't get dirty for that matter.
Okay.
It's how I'm going to clean my ear. Yeah, no, what are you going to clean? It's not dirty. The wax is produced by the same ear.
Right, Doc, so this is the final question, then we wrap up on the segment. This one says, please, I've grown to realize that my left ear does not hear at all. I cannot tell what happened to that ear, and I do not even know when that began. I have lived with this till I'm 32 years now.
Wow.
Doc, please, can something be done to restore my left ear to its normal hearing capacity?
Is it totally dead?
Well, she says it cannot hear at all.
She doesn't even know when.
Yes, it began or how.
Has she seen anybody to examine it?
The person didn't state that.
Yeah, we'll have to get some good history, do some examination, and find a type of hearing impairment or difficulty here she has, so we can situate it and see whether it's reversible or irreversible, can be treated or not.
Now, Doc, wrapping up on the conversation, for people watching now who do not even know where to start from if they're experiencing any hearing defects or deficiencies, how to even note the signs and the symptoms. What would you say to them? And of course, for parents, how do they detect that my child is developing a hearing defect, even before they take it out to school or somebody else notices it? Yes,
very well. So in closing it, I mean, like I said, let's pay attention. The hearing sense is so important. There's so much good sounds to enjoy. We need to preserve our hearing to do it. So now, if you're keeping your level, your volume level at 2 or 3 or 5, and you're hearing normally, and now you have to go to 10 before you hear, you know there's a problem. You're turning it up. You should know. But if you think that it has to go up for you to enjoy it, that's a different problem. All right. So now paying attention means that the little signs that you see, like I'm talking about now, importantly, get it checked, which we don't like doing. Get it checked. Now, if I have a patient who's having issues and I have a catalog and a record on you, I know what your hearing was like in 2020. For example, I know what your hearing audiogram looks like in 2021. I know what it looks like in 2022. So I have a record on you. I can tell if your hearing is deteriorating so fast, which something has to be done, or marginal, forget about it. All right? So we are not paying attention, and we are open. And again, we are bombarding ourselves with the same kind of problems that are giving us the hearing impairments.
Doc, speaking of the checks, right?
Yes.
How often can one check their ears? And should I just get up and go to the hospital, or do I wait for something to happen, or do I wait to feel that, no, there's something really going on in my ears before I go get it checked?
Yes, you can get it checked. There are people who are running annual checks, okay? There are BPs, there are sugar levels and labs and kind of things. It can be part of that, okay? Because we hardly notice it ourselves. That's the difficult part. But otherwise, if you don't have a problem, hey, no problem. You don't have to come and see me at all with your hearing. But if you notice that people are telling you are shouting. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you can't hear, you have to raise your voice so you hear yourself. Yeah. So if your friends tell you are shouting, find out what's going on, okay? Get it checked. Then you know, you have that record. This is your hearing level as at this date.
Right.
Now, if you, in a year, 2 years down the road, you're like, there's something going on, go back there and get it checked. If you pitch the 2020, 2025 sound to the 2024 sound, you know where you are at.
Difference.
And then it can be appropriately addressed.
Right.
to just
Thank you so
conclude.
much, Dr. Buddha, for those powerful insights about the ear. This has been Doctor in the House. Until next time, do make sure that you are taking proper care of your ear.